Roberta, welcome to Chillin with Larry Magen and Night Owl TV.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
You know, it's great to have you here, and I apologize for a little bit of feedback and echo that we're getting here. We're trying to straighten this stuff out. But in any case, Roberta, so nice of you not only to join us, but tonight of all nights, I know you're preparing for the SIHH. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what the SIHH is for all of those out there that don't know about that show?
Yes, well, SIHH well, that would be my very large dog. Wanted to weigh in tonight. Sorry about that. SIHH, it stands for Salon International de la Haute Horlogerie. In other words, SIHH. And it is the most prestigious watch show of the year. It is a by-invitation only show, and it is in its 27th year. And 30 brands attend, with some of the most prestigious brands on the market being there to unveil their exciting new products that will set the tone for the entire year.
Okay, very good. And before we get into some of those exciting new products that may be unveiled, you know, at the show, you're also appearing tomorrow in Manhattan at the GEM Awards. Okay, this is very prestigious, and you're making the presentation for the, what is it, the Watch Excellence of the Year?
Yes, yes. Every year the jewelry industry honors different aspects of the jewelry and watch arena. And so in addition to some of the most spectacular jewelry designers and media excellence, we have the Watch Excellence category, which really honors brands or a single brand who was outstanding in 2016 for their technical prowess, their innovation in design, and certainly their leadership in the field. And we have three great nominees this year: Gégé Lecote, Patek Philippe, and Elongrenson, our first German brand up for nomination. So I will be presenting the award. I'm very excited about it. I won't find out until I open the envelope who wins. But I'm sure it will be a gala, unfortunately sold-out black tie affair, so no one can come. But it's very exciting.
Wow, that's so exciting to hear. And what a busy schedule you have. You know, going to Manhattan tomorrow. What about, so you go to Manhattan tomorrow, you present this prestigious award, and I know it's at one of my favorite restaurants, Cipriani's.
Yes.
Is that the Midtown Cipriani's or the downtown Cipriani's?
Midtown.
That's the one. That's it. That's the place to be seen for sure. But when are you leaving for SIHH? The next day, Saturday?
Yes, Saturday I'll be on a flight. I arrived Sunday morning into lovely Geneva, and I hit the ground running, which is what I always do. My first afternoon, I've already got about 5 or 6 important appointments around the city before the show opens officially on the Monday, and then I'll spend 4 days at the show, and then I will go on to tour a factory before returning home. But this show promises to be very, very exciting because I've already had to sign a number of NDAs, non-disclosures. I have to keep everything under wraps until the first day of the show. But I've gotten first glance at many, many of the timepieces being unveiled, and we're seeing some really exciting, super high-end pieces, some great complications, a few world records being made and being broken, and I think it's going to be very exciting to see the watches coming out this year. And I can't wait to come back and be able to tell you all the secrets I already know.
Well, we're going to take a sneak peek at a few that they allowed you to sneak peek that weren't embargoed. But let me ask you this. I mean, for you to even get the opportunity to sign those waivers and releases and what the confidentiality agreements, not too many people get that opportunity. You have a very great reputation among all the high-end Swiss brands. They let you into their factories. You mentioned you're going to be going to some of the factories. Can you tell us who you're going to visit?
This time around, I always tack on factory tours when I'm traveling. This time around, I will be visiting Blancpain in Les Brassus and Les Sentiers, two very wonderful cities about an hour north of Geneva. And Blancpain makes some of the most fascinating timepieces out there. They've got the famous 50 Fathoms. And, I'm very excited about going in and seeing their workshops at the high end of the market.
You know, for those that don't know, you're also the founder and editor-in-chief of your own website, atimelyperspective.com. And it really is a fantastic website. I know we have a lot of watch guys that are watching right now. Here's your nice logo. But it's atimelyperspective.com, guys. And you want to read some blogs. I mean, you're turning these things out. I was reading some of your articles. They're all within the last, few days. I mean, you're turning articles out like you're some kind of a machine.
Well, I am a prolific writer. I write for many publications, Forbes and a number of them. I have columns around, but I am most proud of my own site because it does let me share a lot with readers. And I have some very loyal readers who email me, ask me questions about what watches they should buy, what watches they should look at. I've worked with brands. I've worked with retailers. You're right. I'm very fortunate because I do have such great relationships, and I guess that's what 30 years in an industry where you make sure to do everything right all the time when you can counts for. But yeah, they're very exciting times, and I welcome.
Let's take a sneak peek here. One of the ones that caught my eye, I saw 5 on your website, but I picked out 3 that really intrigued me. One was the Christophe Claret Maestro. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right. Christophe Claret. Claret is known in the industry. He's been around for years. He's worked for many, many watch brands under their names in the past. He's a really interesting man. He's known for his minute repeaters. He's known for his whimsical addition to watches. He has watches that you can play roulette on the dial. You can pick petals off of a daisy and play the he loves me not game. And these are all at the super high end. We're talking, several $100,000. So the new Maestro that we will be seeing next week has an interesting little nod to help those who forget to remember something, similar to tying a string around your finger. And he does that using a diamond on the dial that you can set to remind yourself that maybe you need to call someone or take a break or anything that you have to do. And it is his first complication that retails for less than $100,000, which is a big deal.
And Christophe, he actually makes these movements himself?
Well, now he does have a team of watchmakers, but he is the man who develops everything. He's been known to sit there for hours and sort of noodle out how he wants to present something. And it's great to look at a watch on your wrist and see a pretty thing there, but when you think about the fact that inside that 2-inch item can be hundreds of teeny tiny mechanical pieces making it work, somebody has to think those pieces through. Somebody has to decide how they're all going to come together. and he does that.
Okay. Okay, great. Now, we're running short on time. I promised you I was going to get you out of here before a quarter after. We're already missing that. But there is one more that really caught my eye that you're sneaking out there to the public. The Cartier Rotunda, what is it, the D Cartier? It's the minute repeater and mysterious double tourbillon?
Yes, Cartier. Cartier is a brand that... It's such a special brand because not only do they have beautiful high-jeweled watches, but they've really established themselves as a master at the haute horlogerie end of the world. And this new Rotunde Cartier minute repeater mysterious double tourbillon watch, which I think is the one that you're talking about, is a very special piece because it blends a lot of individual parts of what Cartier is good at into one watch, and that includes having a mysterious aperture. There's an aperture in the watch where there's a mysterious cage that rotates, and the cage just seems to be floating in space. It's actually the tourbillon, which, sorry to get technical, helps compensate for errors in timekeeping. But anyway, it's this mesmerizing piece, and to be able to see it move on your wrist, it's incredible. I don't want to get too complicated and too technical here for you.
Well, go ahead. I understand, and I'm very well aware of tourbillons and everything else, but what really caught my eye about this piece was, and maybe I was misinformed, maybe I just wasn't in the, cognoscenti, but honestly, I thought of Cartier more as a designer brand. Not that they didn't have, expensive watches, but when they're charging $5,000 sometimes for a quartz movement, I think it's more of a status symbol. And then you see a complication like this, you see a movement like this, it blew my mind. It's not something that I personally had expected of Cartier. Now, maybe, you've been around them much more than I have, and maybe this is just the norm for them, but it did throw me. It did catch me by surprise.
I think those who haven't kept up with Cartier as a true watch maker, as a true brand in the high end of the market, are surprised. They still think of beautiful tank watches or, pretty dress watches. But the truth of the matter is, this is a brand that has invested millions into developing its own movements and creating higher-end research and development to not just produce beautiful watches or diamond watches, but also to produce these high complications that have some other aspect to them that are intriguing and inviting. And they've done an amazing job over the past decade of really building up their brand to levels that you would expect from a name like Cartier.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I know you got to get going here. Thank you so much for popping in here tonight, Roberta. When are you going to be back?
I will be back on the 24th, and I've got a few other small trips planned in between, but I'm going to come and visit you very early in February if I can and share some of the exciting new products that I saw.
That's great. Our first show in February is going to be February 2nd on a Thursday night. So let's book it, okay?
Oh, we'll try our best to book it. I've got to just check the calendar, make sure I'm in town. And that's Groundhog Day. We'll have to do something special for the groundhog.
All righty. Well, we'll talk before then. Have a safe trip. We want to hear all about Geneva when you get back, okay?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you for having me. Good luck with that great watch giveaway. That watch looks amazing.
Oh, my pleasure. Much love, Roberta. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.